Did you know there is an exact moment, an almost imperceptible fraction of a second, when a woman decides whether she is going to surrender to the moment or erect an insurmountable barrier? Most men lose the game right there without even realizing it. And it's not due to a lack of looks or money, but because of a critical failure in non-verbal communication and reading the room. If you've ever felt that awkward vibe right after trying to get close, or if you're afraid of appearing pushy and ruining everything, I need you to stop everything you're doing right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to hand you the master key to the psychology of attraction that separates the boys from the high-value men. What we are going to discuss today isn't about cheap pickup lines. It's about neuroscience, behavior, and elegance. If you want to master the art of asking for intimacy without saying a single vulgar word, stay with me until the end, because the last technique I'm going to reveal completely changes the chemistry of the female brain in your favor. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to another deep conversation here in our space, on the channel Sexualidade Sábia, Wise Sexuality. Today's video is incredibly promising. The topic is delicate but absolutely necessary. We're going to look at how to ask a woman for intimacy, how to initiate that closeness, but not just in any way, and certainly not in that common, mechanical, or clumsy way we see everywhere. No, you are a man who seeks distinction, who seeks to evolve. Therefore, what I am going to teach you today is how to do it with extreme elegance. I've titled this talk, The Art of Asking for Intimacy with Class, and I am absolutely certain this will transform your vision of relationship dynamics. Notice there's something they almost never tell you about the moment. Although it seems like everything is about instinct and carnal desire, in reality, initiating intimacy is a supreme test of emotional intelligence. Perhaps you haven't realized it, but today, with all the experience I've gathered in my career as a specialist in human behavior, I'm going to do you the favor of opening your eyes. A man can have all the desire in the world, listen to me well, testosterone through the roof, but if he doesn't know how to communicate this the right way, he can destroy the magic, the connection, and the trust in a matter of seconds. I want to take you somewhere different. We aren't going to talk about tired cliches or those cheap manipulation tricks that flood the internet. We're going to talk about how a mature man asks for intimacy by generating an unforgettable memory. That kind of elegance that stays in her mind, not because it was cold or distant, but because it had warmth, respect, and above all, depth. That's how I like things, and I know they will serve you too. To understand the foundation of everything we'll see today, I want to talk about a concept that's very trendy right now, but few apply correctly in their love lives: Stoicism. You see it on TikTok, on Instagram, in self-help books. But true Stoicism isn't about repeating pretty phrases for a photo. It's a philosophy born over 2,000 years ago that teaches 3 fundamental pillars for our topic. First, mastering emotions so as not to be a slave to impulse. Second, acting with virtue even when no one is watching. And third, speaking and acting only after thinking about the impact of your words. What do you think about that? Now, imagine applying that to seduction. You understand that an elegant man doesn't ask from a place of desperate urgency. He asks from connection and calm. And that calm, my friends, is a potent aphrodisiac. Neuroscience explains it. When you demonstrate control over your own desire, you project security. And security is the foundation of female arousal. I'll tell you a short story, a real case I handled. Anonymously, of course. I remember a consultant who told me, "Doctor, I feel like when the moment comes, I lose the magic because I don't know how to say it, and I end up either staying silent and looking shy or being too direct and vulgar." What he didn't know is that asking for intimacy isn't just dropping a sentence. It's a choreography. A choreography of words, looks, tone of voice, and above all, timing. It's many things, but combined, they are powerful. Today I'm giving you 5 strategic ways and the mentality behind each one so you never feel insecure again when proposing intimacy. Let's dive in. First, use desire as an invitation, not a demand. An elegant man doesn't corner. An elegant man invites. It's not the same to say, "Come here fast, I want you now," with an impatient tone, as it is to say calmly, holding her gaze, "I would love to have you close to me tonight, but only if you want it as much as I do." See, there's a huge difference. One is pressuring, which generates cortisol, the stress hormone that kills libido. The other is seducing, releasing dopamine. The elegant invitation makes it clear to her that you have desire, yes, but you also have control over that desire. That control is deeply attractive because it tells her, "I can be patient, but with you, I choose not to be because I truly desire you." And here's a specialist's secret. Before you speak, make sure the atmosphere is ready. Prolonged eye contact, a light touch on the arm, and a pause that leaves room for silence. Silence, when used well, is worth more than any sentence. It creates a delicious sexual tension. Second, create the context before the proposal. Understand this about female biology. Intimacy for a woman isn't a light switch you flip on and off instantly. It's a bonfire that is built. Don't jump in with the invitation if you were just talking about bills or work problems. Interject something soft, change your tone of voice, make it deeper and slower, and say something like, "There's something in your eyes today that makes me want to know every corner of your soul and your skin." Here you aren't just describing the physical. You're connecting two levels, the emotional and the sensual. This combination is irresistible. If she feels heard, validated, and intellectually respected before the physical proposal, her mind won't see your desire as an invasion. She'll see it as a natural and beautiful consequence of the moment you're both experiencing. Third, speak from appreciation, not just impulse. Impulsive men immediately talk about the body. Great legs, what a body you have. Elegant men talk about the essence and then the body. See? Talking about the body comes second, but with equal weight. For example, it's not just how beautiful you are, it's saying, it's not just your physical beauty, it's that with you, the energy feels different. Everything becomes more intense. Here she feels that you are capable of seeing beyond the obvious, and that breaks the defense many women raise when they feel a man is only looking for one thing. Anticipation is one of the strongest engagement tools in seduction. Fourth, use the language of complicity. Complicity is that magical territory where both know what they're talking about without even saying it directly. It's the subtext. You can smile slightly, with a half smile, and say something like, "I have an idea for the two of us right now, but I don't know if you dare to hear it." This phrase works wonders because it's a gentle challenge. It's playful. You aren't being explicit, but you're inviting her mind to imagine. And in seduction, imagination is more potent than reality. The tone is everything. If you say it smiling, it's flirtation. If you say it serious, and in a low voice, it's intense provocation. You choose which to use based on the moment. Fifth, make all of this part of a unique moment, not a routine. Nothing kills elegance and desire faster than a predictable, mechanical routine. If you always ask for intimacy with the same words at the same time, the magic dies. The brain stops paying attention. Use a phrase that promises an experience like, "Tonight could be just an ordinary night," or one of those that makes history between us. Which do you prefer? This works because it doesn't feel automatic. It wraps her in the idea that this moment is special, that it's unrepeatable. And remember, special doesn't mean expensive. You don't need French champagne every night. Special is found in intentionality. Background music, dim lighting, a deep conversation, all of this can be the perfect prelude to an elegant invitation. Asking for intimacy with elegance isn't about hiding your desire. It's about showing it with so much class that she can't forget it. This is where Stoicism comes full circle. A man who masters his own impulse and converts it into art ceases to be just another man in the crowd. He becomes a memorable man. Because in the end, you aren't just looking for physical intimacy, you're looking for an emotion and a story that will remain between you forever. This is a true art, and it ensures that not only does she enjoy it, but you will enjoy it much more because the connection will be real. As I said at the beginning, this is a choreography of romance, seduction, language, communication, and psychology. Now, I want to ask you something important, and I want you to answer me honestly in the comments. Which of these 5 strategies do you think is the hardest to apply nowadays? Is it the patience to create context or the control of impulse when speaking? Write it down below because I read all the comments and it helps me immensely to know what content to create specifically for what you need. If this video has brought you value, you have a commitment to me. Give me a like so YouTube knows this content is worthwhile. Share this video with that friend you know needs to hear these truths. And of course, subscribe to the channel Sexualidade Sábia and turn on the bell. By the way, I have another video on the channel specifically about how to read nonverbal signals that she's interested. It's the perfect complement to what we saw today, so go watch it right now. Sending you a strong hug, keep your elegance, and I'll see you faithfully in the next video. Bye.